to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Mr. Sensible Live. Tonight we have once again Strevs. If you didn't see my previous video with Strevs, you're in for a treat, I think. But have some pity on me. I work with this lady, so I get a daily dose of strange. If you have any questions for Strevs, please super chat them and I'll ask those questions of Strevs every now and then. You can ask her anything you want, anything, and I mean anything. So a big welcome for Strevs, the Queen of Weird. Strevsy, how are you this evening?
Hola.
How are you?
I'm fine. You love working with me, really. You're giving people the wrong impression.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You
So
love it.
I've got an important question to ask right at the start. What colour is it today?
What is today?
Friday.
Okay, so today is largely the top portion of today will be black, but then we're going to draw down to a kind of a maroon donated blood sort of burgundy fringe on the bottom.
Okay. And what about tomorrow?
Oh,
is it
tomorrow's-
cerise?
No, tomorrow's completely utterly jet black because it's Saturday.
Saturday, day off. A day off from colour. So, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm
And
fine.
did you enjoy doing a video the other day?
Yes, I did. That's why I've come back for some more.
Yeah, but this isn't just coming back for more video. This is live.
I know. How exciting.
I know. I don't know if you can see the little number in the top right corner of the YouTube video. Currently, that's the number who are watching. So we're already up to 27. Hopefully. Oh, apparently you're a little quiet. I will boost your voice. It's okay. No, not your headphones. If you just
If
say...
I touch anything, it will break.
Right, I've just boosted Strevs' volume. Let us know if there's still a problem, people. Thank you. Yeah, so I understand you've got one or two things you want to talk about, and I don't know what they are.
Well, the fact that I've got the Muppet Show theme in my head again.
Okay, why have you got the Muppet Show theme in your head?
I can't rid myself of it. I don't know what to do.
Well, the one I keep getting stuck in my head is that minna. That's the one.
Thanks, I've got that now as well.
As well.
It's fantastic. I'll play them together. Oh, I have to report. Go on. Were you going to say something?
No, someone says you're very quiet. I've boosted.
Try working with me.
Yeah, let me know if I've boosted Strevs to the max, which is something you never normally do. Never.
Do you want me to press a button at this end?
No, it won't help.
On this thing here.
No, it won't. No, that's your headphones. Oh God.
Okay. So.
unless there's a mic volume on there, is there?
There's a thing of a plus button.
Yeah, but I think that. Well, try it if you want. Dr. Nimrod, member for 5 months. I'm a member for 5 months. Yay! Thanks, Dr. Nimrod.
Yay!
And I hope your cat's all right. Yay for Dr. Nimrod.
Wasn't say I have to report. So after the last session we did, happy to report the Cyberman's Merkin is now removed from the highway.
People
it's no
were
longer there.
People
so
were
everyone
asking.
that was worried about that, it's either been repatriated onto a Cyberman's shiny crotch, or the Highways Agency have taken it away. I don't know, but it's gone. It's gone.
For people saying about the sound, the desktop audio is at max, and when Strevs talks, it's showing as max for me. What I can do is if I drop my volume a little, and then perhaps you can boost the volume as you watch it. So hopefully that will even things out. Give that a go, people. Thank you. Although Arto Risanen says hi all, and her volume is way better now. Good.
It's always good to hear. Did you like the pun there?
Yes.
Good to hear.
So yes,
Yeah.
people who didn't watch our last video will know nothing about the Cyberman's Merkin. And that's probably best left like that. But you say it's now gone. It's been removed from the highway.
It's gone from the highway. So
I was going to say from the Queen's Highway, but it's the King's Highway now, isn't it?
It's the King's Highway now. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but it's been all good. So today is black with a maroon fringe. I've been shopping. I've got the obligatory instruments of Satan. There weren't many of those left on the shelf in Waitrose, but I got some.
What are the obligatory instruments of Satan that you purchased from Waitrose?
The instruments of Satan are never ever in the reduced section. They're that popular. They're like the devil's dangle cordlings. So it's basically they're Belgian buns.
Belgian buns are the devil's satanic instruments.
It's the instruments of Satan. Although properly speaking, yum-yums are the real instruments of Satan.
Yeah, they are lovely. And talking of lovely, Miss Judy Bassett, member for 25 months, sensible support, says, I'm also a member. Yay, Judy. Always supporting me. I appreciate it all the time, Judy. I've got some wonderful people here, Strevs, you know.
You have. They've got some very interesting names.
Oh, TP Seeker says the sound's good now, so don't touch the thing. I won't touch anything. Thanks, TP.
I'm going to...
No. You'll screw it up again.
Okay. I'll leave it. So I've also on the shopping list as well, so I've got more jam to go with my dinners.
Well, oh, yeah.
Because no dinner is complete without jam.
Please, tell people about the soup you have.
I've just made one, actually. So
but tell people what you put in your soup.
In my soup, generally... It's better if it's a tomato soup, although it is acceptable in a spring vegetable. A great big dollop of crunchy peanut butter. And it is like the best.
You heard that right.
Ever.
Tomato soup with peanut butter. Crunchy in it.
God, yeah, it's got to be crunchy. The smooth just doesn't cut it. Smooth will not cut it. So, yeah, crunchy peanut butter. But, warnings, people, if you put it in the microwave, it will sound like a firework display. So there's something about the peanut butter and the crunching and the... Yeah.
I suppose it would, but you are the only person I know of who puts crunchy peanut butter in tomato soup. Do you not think it's a little odd?
No, I can't see the issue of having jam with dinner either. Any dinner.
Any.
Be it fish and chips, moussaka, lasagna.
With
sausages,
strawberry jam?
Toad. Right, okay. Not as a choice, so I would normally go for a raspberry jam. Any red jam is acceptable.
Right.
But out of preference, a raspberry. I will go for a blackcurrant sometimes, or a blackberry. If I'm really, really, really screwed, I might move over to apricot. But that's pretty much it. I'll draw the line at anything else.
I know you can have sausage sandwiches with marmalade. That works. But then...
That's disgusting. How could you
it's like
that?
Pork with apple sauce or lamb with mint sauce.
No.
You're not one of these here vegans, are you, Strevs?
No, because if I was, I'd have told you within the first 10 seconds of the conversation, wouldn't I?
Yes.
Yes.
No, you eat real food. That's
I
all
do
right.
eat real food. Yeah.
Now,
like
last I heard, you had copious notes of things you were going to bring up.
So I've got here a small book. This is the
Strevs
book. It's the Strevs book of section-worthy statements.
And for those outside the UK, someone is sectioned when they have some mental health challenges. And talking of books, though, this is a good opportunity. I'm just posting a link in the side chat. That's a link to Strevs' Amazon site where she sells some of her books. So do check it out and see if there's something that tickles your fancy.
Yeah, but they're not about jam.
Not about jam?
No, what
are they about?
I think the last three are biographies of 18th century female serial poisoners.
Female serial poisoners? Do you mean they're poisoning bowls of ready break?
No, no one dies happily in my house. No, so women that, poison people.
Okay.
For whatever reason. So
there was a famous one down in, was it Brighton or somewhere?
Oh, you've been listening to Lucy Worsley, haven't you?
I don't know who it was.
You've been listening to Radio 4
Radio
again.
4, yes.
She needs a bit of me on there.
She was poisoning everyone.
I know.
Oh, in Maynard's Sweets, wasn't it?
I think it was chocolates.
Maynard's Chocolates, yes.
Yeah. But
hello, Brian Pop Robson. And Professor Phil Bell I saw in it. And Andy Sibley, Mr. X, Mr. Y, I am Blue, who I think was the first person to comment pre-stream. Welcome to you.
Am I supposed to be drinking on here? Never
you
mind.
can drink on there. It's I was going to say it's after 9 o'clock, but it's not really.
Do you know what? It will be soon. It's somewhere in the world, isn't it?
It will be in Dubai, won't it?
Somewhere in the world. It's 9 o'clock.
The pellet with the poison is the chalice from the palace, says the snark. That reminds me of the fallen Madonna in the cake, the gâteau from the chateau. It's the one with the candle with the handle. Do you not remember that?
Well, the one with the big boobies.
Yes, the fallen Madonna with the big boobies.
Oh God. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I'm just glancing. So I've got a note here about foil shoes.
Foil shoes.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people on here will know about foil hats because we meet a lot of flat earthers and other conspiracy theorists who are models for tinfoil hats. So tell us of these foil shoes of which you speak.
I'd actually found a foil hat I wanted to stop the car, but I couldn't because it was in a really busy part of Oxford. It was a perfect foil helmet on the side of the road. And I was like, oh, it's a sign. I need to go back for that.
It's a sign of what?
Well, so there's various things that can be signs. So you might see. So I saw a very nice pair of ladies' knickers on the windowsill of the Two Rider shop the other day, which I think was probably a sign. So say if you see like a large man's shoe in a hedge with some tinsel, or perhaps you might see a potato in the curb.
No, never seen a potato.
These are all signs.
What I always see. Is on the Strevs. What I always see is on the side of a motorway, one worker's boot. I mean, how did he go home? Did he just hop?
I don't know where the other ones are, but so these are all signs. So the clearest sign I ever received was going and getting my other half from some God knows what place in the middle of the night somewhere, and it was about 3 a.m, and I drove through a Oxfordshire lovely village, and in the road there were Satsomas scattered across the carriageway, but in the constellation of the plough. And I was like, oh my God, there's actually Satsomas laid out across the road in the constellation of the plough. So I picked John up. I said, you won't believe this. We'll drive back this way.
Yeah.
Of course, we went back there. They were gone.
Oh, yeah.
So
and you're telling us it was real. We believe you, Strevs.
He thought I needed to be section, which,
Yeah. So this constellation of Satsumas in the shape of a plough, were the pointer stars pointing towards a banana representing the North Pole star?
No. So that was actually pointing towards the pub, the pointer star.
Pub.
Yeah, it was pointing towards the pub.
So the entire world revolves around a pub. Yeah, I suppose a lot of people would agree. I'll just say Turing Test 2 has been a member for 29 months. Thank you, Turing. Saying, it seems I too have been a member for some time. You have indeed, sir. You have indeed.
I did also find a very large onion in the curb outside a theatre once.
Okay. What did you do with it?
Oh, I left it. I mean, you don't. It's a sign. You let other people enjoy it. It's something that's for everyone. Isn't it?
Everyone can enjoy
Although the large man's shoe with the tinsel, I think, was directed at me.
Yes. So what was?
But there had been the Thames had flooded, and I think it had been brought down river, and it got caught really high up in a hedge. But even so, it's a little bit odd, isn't it?
Oh yes, just a little bit odd.
Large man's shoe with some tinsel. Yeah. So anyway, foil shoes going forwards. Foil shoes are really important. So I used to beg my mum for foil to make shoes from because it was very important to me. Obviously, in the end, she had to cut me off because, foil in the 1970s wasn't that cheap, and I'd go through reels and reels and reels of it. So
it's also very dangerous. It's also very dangerous because if you make foil shoes, if you were to curl up in a microwave, you'd probably spark and burn and stuff if someone switched it on.
John, there weren't microwaves in 1974.
Oh, okay. It's worth trying.
There was an STD epidemic because everyone was being changed over to British gas, and where all the men went round and went to every household and had to change the gas supply over.
Yeah.
There was a massive VD epidemic because, well, you know what? Lady housewives in the 70s were home.
Yep.
Can I sort out your gas cock, love?
Can I sort out your boiler?
Why don't I sort something else out while we're there? That's a fact.
So when was this? The 1970s?
Yeah, early 70s.
So was there a sudden baby boom after that then as well?
No, because they all had the clap. There may well have been, I don't know. There were also rats in cavity walls in houses. All right, I remember that. That was definitely a thing.
Let me share this with you, Strevs. TP Seeker says, the best sign I ever got was when I bought condoms that were expired. Needless to say, I didn't go back and see her.
Excellent. Were they vegan condoms? Because you can get those now.
Vegan condoms? You mean that they're condoms not made from animals?
Well, I suppose they haven't... I don't know. I'm not sure, but they're... you can get vegan condoms, like vegan... coronation anointing oil, which is being especially shipped over from...
You'll be getting vegetarian chicken next.
Well, you already get that.
Well, that stuff, that sort of
It's called What the Clark, isn't it?
corn, stuff like that.
No, it's called What the Clark. Yeah, faking bacon.
Yeah, you see,
Faking
I'd make a
bacon.
fortune. I've got this business idea because all those sort of fake meat products are so expensive. So I would do another one. I can't believe it's not corn, and make it out of real meat, which is cheaper, and it tastes even better. But they can't see you because they won't know the difference, will they? Because if corn is so good and this is even better. And anyway, how would a vegetarian
Well, the animals won't see you. They won't see you because they're dead. They're in the sausage, aren't they?
What about all the poor baby corn that are slaughtered each year? Millions of them.
They're grown on sheets. They're grown. So the mycelial forms are grown on huge fiberglass sheets that they slot in and out.
You know everything you do, Strev.
Yeah, I know. This is so my friend's husband, who does stuff with chemicals and paint, told me about this. So how he knows about and what he doesn't know about leather, you
Sorry, who was this?
Get on my friend's husband. You wouldn't get on the postage
Oh yeah,
stamp.
yeah.
Like,
you, your friend's husband and leather. Oh right.
All about leather. Yeah, there's nothing he doesn't know about leather. So no. So I'm just checking my strange book again.
You have got a strange book.
I have. We didn't cover the work Poltergeist last time, did we?
Well, I'm not so sure about discussing things that happen at work.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all right, because you follows me home
fact
anyway.
that you believe there's a poltergeist at work. And what was special about that poltergeist?
So it's always troubled me that people should think if you see an apparition or a ghost, it's going to be the same size as a regular human being, whether it's clothed or whatever. Oh, I'm going to go back to clothing in a minute and aliens because they've never got a stitch on. There's something wrong with that. There's anyway. So ghosts, people see them and they're like, oh, normal sized people. The one that I've seen is it's so huge. All I can see is like the top section of its legs up to its waist. So the rest of its legs from like above the knee will go down through the ground floor and into the ground below. And the rest of it presumably is going through the ceiling and up into the sky. It is absolutely enormous.
Okay.
And it stinks.
Well,
it heralds itself with the smell of aircraft mints.
That might have been me actually. Sorry.
Anyway, it's there.
But if this poltergeist is so big, why does no one else notice it? Only you.
Well, they're not tuned in, are they?
Ah.
They're not open. They're not receptive.
How do you become receptive to poltergeists then?
I think it's probably working next to that cupboard that's got all the electrical equipment in it.
And it affects you, does it? Okay.
It's got that like Siggy Saggy sign on it that says "Don't go in here; it will kill you."
You'll be deaded. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be deaded. Yeah. So anyway, but going back to the aliens with no clothes.
Oh yes, with no clothes.
Whenever you see aliens on anything, I mean, I'm still waiting for to see a real one for it to come around to the door, but they've never got a stitch on, have they?
Well, perhaps they're naturist aliens.
Well, no, but you're telling me so. Whatever universe or whatever thing they're in, is there no like Vivienne Westwood alien? There's no Dior alien. There's nothing. They haven't even got an accessory. They've got no jewelry. They're devoid.
Perhaps
they're just grey.
Moved beyond petty things like that.
Yeah, you think they still wear a toupee or a wig every now and then, though, wouldn't you?
A merkin.
A merkin. Just something to jazz it up a little bit.
Well, possibly. But I mean, most of the aliens we see are all it's all based on these greys, isn't it? Like in Close Encounters.
Yeah, they've got no clothes.
Yeah, but Klingons have clothes, don't they? They've got armour and spikes and
in the 60s they were just Spanish, weren't they?
Yes, they were the early Star Trek Klingons. Yeah, they don't talk about what they were like then.
We don't talk about what they were like then. They were just clearly just Spaniards. And that's Oh, did you know? So fair old jumpers like they wear in Scotland and Orkneys, that they're really sort of like jazzy patterns. That's because when the Spanish Armada like completely fucked up in all the wind and everything and fell apart, although someone said a wizard sorted it out, but I don't believe that anyway. So a lot of them ended up, the ones that didn't drown. So a lot of
they took up knitting.
No. So a lot of the horses from the ships actually went and they swam ashore, which was nice. So they got ashore, but some of them ended up in like the Northern Isles and they carried these like amazing Spanish knitting patterns on. And also some chestnuts came off the ships, and they grew into Spanish chestnut trees.
Okay. So
And
why
a lot
these
of people,
horses got knitting patterns?
no, the horses haven't got knitting patterns. They just made it to shore, which I think that's a nice thing.
Listen, there are a lot of clever people in my chat, and Maker Rise just said not Spanish, Puerto Rican. Puerto Rica.
Mika, I bow to your superior knowledge.
You sound.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do? What are you going to say next? Khan. I bow to the superior intellect.
Yeah. Father. Yeah.
Oh, and dressed in gold lame. There you go. So were these horses dressed in gold lame, clutching knitting patterns then?
No, I wonder if they had any llamas with them. So I know that a lot of them ended up washed up on the coast of Ireland, and someone said to me that's why a lot of Irish people have that incredible, beautiful, like, jet black hair. Is because they've got like some sort of Spanish heritage, some sort of Iberian. Okay. I think I've got a bit of that going on.
Have you?
I had my DNA done, and it's like, whoa.
Did it say human?
Oh, it was messed up. It was absolutely messed up.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, the lion's share of it was German, but...
Don't mention the war. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it.
No, so going back to paranormal...
Oh, yeah.
When I was growing up, I lived in South London, and I had the privilege of my friend's neighbour. She had a gateway to the underworld in her understair cupboard.
Is it a bit like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where that town was the gateway to hell?
No, I don't know, but it was there, and apparently it was on a spiritual rift where someone had built a church and a pagan burial ground, and all the things that were there were like, oh, fucking, I'm not Christian, don't put your shit on me. Got really angry, made a big like spiritual rift, which went up sort of like up through my hometown, and the portal to it was in her understair cupboard.
Okay.
But I remember getting really
next to the gas meter.
Yes, yeah. Also, a hand used to come through the wall as well and offer buttered toast. Anyway, so I remember I was so excited as a kid. I remember going home and saying to my parents, oh my god, this is amazing. Alison's neighbour's got a gateway to the... And I actually sent the underground in our understair cupboard, because I got it right. And my dad said, what's she on, the Circle Line or the District?
For our American friends, those are subway routes.
So presumably that house... Oh yeah, no, so it was on a plague pit, that's right. So the people in the plague pit came through and chatted like where the Hoover was in the understair cupboard, like round that.
So, I mean, did you ever think, hey, I will go and look in this cupboard and go down to the gates of hell or whatever?
Oh, I just took her word for it. I mean, the toast was enough. I used to stay around my friend's house quite often. I was worried that it was going to offer me toast through her wall. It never did.
Well, that'd be handy. It would save buying all that bread.
Here's some toast, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you wouldn't be able to put any peanut butter on it because you put that all in your tomato soup.
I'm so sorry. That was very rude of me. I
apologise. Are you going to belch like you do all
day
at work?
That was the Vino Rosso. Yeah, that was the Vino Rosso speaking. I do not do that at work. I have too much respect for my colleagues.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, do any of your lovely people listening in this evening, can they tell me, do any of them ever experience a clock ticking in the base of their skull?
I have no idea. But right now, I think it's there's this new feature, and I just clicked it, and I think it's playing an advert, so we get a bit of a delay on them. So, yeah, ask your question again.
Well, so I've got to ask, does anyone else out there ever experience the sensation of not a clock so much, but perhaps a delicate small wristwatch ticking at the base of their skull?
I certainly haven't.
Sure?
I'm sure.
It's just a question that because I'm in this position at the moment, I can put it out there to various people.
Well, if it's a digital clock, you're not going to hear the ticking then.
Well, no. It's been there since I was a very small child, and there weren't digital clocks then.
It's more like a cuckoo clock, and it's got a cuckoo that comes out. Oh dear. No, so I hear. I've got a bit of tinnitus, so if everything's very, very quiet, I can hear this high-pitched whistle.
Tinnitus or tinnitus?
Yeah, and then every now and then, every now and then, it's really rare. I'm just sat here quiet or at work, and I'll hear someone say "John," yeah.
Yeah, it's probably me.
I just heard it. No. I could be alone and I can suddenly hear it. I think someone's behind me and said that.
Oh, that sort of thing happens all the time. People talking in between the floors.
Well, Strevs, Strevs, something of great import. Great import. Mr. M2M, a very good friend of mine, has just sent a super chat asking a question.
Yes.
And that was a kind super chat, M2M, for £5. Thank you, sir. Says, does Strevs think that NASA faked the 6 moon landings 1969 to 72? Careful now. So what's your opinion?
It would be very, very expensive to have faked all 6 of them, wouldn't it? I mean, if you were going to do it, you'd probably do 1, maybe 2, and then cobble the rest of the footage together and just change over like the logos on the ships, or like, get a bit of tracing paper and put it over the top and make it a bit more. No, they wouldn't do all 6, would they? That would be too expensive.
So do you think they were all faked? Some of them were faked, none were faked.
No, because when it took off from Cape Canaveral and all the fire came out the bottom of it, where did it go? Did it just like fuck off around the corner and then come back about 10 minutes later? And it's like, oh, do you know what? Nobody saw that coming back. Where did it go? Oh, it's just gone beyond the clouds. It's all right. It'll come back in 5 minutes.
I think you've pretty much summed up. You've summed up flat Earth and Apollo moon landing deniers there. It goes up in a curve and lands in the ocean somewhere without anyone seeing it.
Yeah, that's no. What and then so they put the astronauts in like a Trust House 40 for a couple of weeks.
Cheap motel people.
And they moan about the kettle being too small and there's only 2 tea bags, and then they come back.
That's true. There's always only 2 tea bags, isn't there?
Yeah.
And 2 really small biscuits.
Unless you go to a really posh one, you get them like tea pig things in the special box with like the window on it.
I've never been in one of those. I don't know what tea pig is.
You
stole some
for you.
You stole some?
Yeah, I do like to steal stuff sometimes. Shh, don't tell you what.
Oh, bad.
Yes.
M2M hasn't got a ticking at the base of his skull. Actually, I just thought, if you've got a ticking at the base of your skull, is it actually that your head's about to explode?
No. It's very. It's not. I don't know. It's not worrying. I mean, I suppose. You know, like in Doctor Who, the Master has the drumming in his head. It's not as drastic as that, and it's been there since I can remember, from very, very early childhood. But actually, in the past 3 years, it has actually moved up a bit. So I was actually right at the very base of my skull, and now it's sort of moved up to this sort of like occipital area, a bit towards my right ear now.
So do you go to a specialist to have your bumps felt?
No, I've got a really tiny head. Actually, I can get the whole of my head into my hand. I experimented with this the other day.
I thought you could say the whole of your head into your mouth.
No, I could do... Oh, no. So I was going to do my party trick with the biscuits, wasn't I? Damn it.
You've forgotten the biscuits?
I didn't go out and buy the chocolate digestives.
Probably
and
just
I've got wine instead of tea, and I can't do it with wine. It has to be done with a hot drink.
That's something for people to look forward to, perhaps on another occasion. Maybe next time, if I remember, I'll remind you. I'm
still looking for banana jammy Dodgers. They're a myth. They're like folklore. No, exactly. They're
making it up.
No, they're folkloric. Apparently, they're amazing, but I can't find them.
I've never heard of them. I went years ago to Cadbury's World, and they had some fantastic flavours of chocolate that they just don't sell in any of the shops I've ever seen.
Like what?
Oh, I can't remember. Oh, well, didn't someone had them at work the other day? Something like lingonberries or whatever.
Oh, yeah, it was lingon.
When was the last time you saw those in the shops? Never.
I think they just made it up. Did I tell you about the dream that I had where I was going to make my fortune? So I probably was going to offer it to like Cadbury's or another chocolate company, because clearly I haven't got the facilities to produce it myself. But I was going to do a line of chocolate dictators. So you could have
chocolate dictators.
You could have a chocolate Hitler, a chocolate Ceausescu.
What fillings would they have? What flavour filling?
No, they would
just
be
solid.
Well, so I was just going for hollow, but what could we fill them with? So you could have a Marcos that was filled with. Or you could have an Imelda that was filled with, I don't know, small shoes.
Candy shoes.
Yeah. So I just said this. I thought, what a fabulous idea! No one has done chocolate dictators.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Chocolate bunnies, chocolate. Well,
chocolate dictators.
Would you have a chocolate Che Guevara? Would you class him? No. Tito, chocolate Tito.
Or Saddam Hussein.
Pol Pot. Yeah, chocolate Pol Pot.
Saddam Hussein, chocolate Saddam Hussein with a cream fondant filling.
I love that. You know when they tore his statue down? Do you remember when the people rose up and they finally, that huge statue, it just tickled me because it just broke off of the legs, didn't it?
It did. What are you going to do with the stumps?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what.
Fill them with chocolate.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Make a massive chocolate fountain out of Salazar's lower legs.
If someone was clever, they'd have grabbed those statues. They'd be worth a fortune now.
Yeah, you could have melted them down.
No, not melting them down. You could have the statues taken to school fetes, and kids can chuck things at them and stuff.
Yeah, but what you can't take that statue of Saddam Hussein around because it ain't got no legs.
Wheels?
You
Fit them on wheels. Just imagine those big.
It's not like one of those disabled dogs, like a dachshund in a trolley, is it? Where it's dragging itself along.
Well, we got a couple more questions. I'm going to actually read these in reverse order. M2M has super chatted again, kind sir, £5. Pineapple on pizza or no?
Okay. So I can accept pineapple on pizza if it's got fennel with it. So if it's a Regina, but I am not having it with ham.
You're not happy
because invariably the ham is that cheap, like reformed stuff, and sometimes ham on pizzas tastes like fish.
Okay, but you're okay. You're okay with pizza on. Pineapple on pizza as long as it's some fennel.
I've put mango on pizza as well. That's quite acceptable. And grapes.
People, you can gather outside, and when she leaves the building, you can kill her.
Custard and Maggie, yeah.
There you go, MTM. There's the answer to your question. And Janos Takach, or Takach, super chatted 1,024 Huff, Hungarian forint, I believe. They still use forints. If you see real ghosts, buy a carbon monoxide detector. Beeping ghosts are way more funny.
Oh, but that might upset them. I don't think they're all out to cause an issue. They're just kind of there, aren't they? And they manifest.
Yeah.
They're just a part of. I had another dream about the ghost of a flea.
A ghost of a flea?
Yeah, but this ghost flea in the dream was wearing like a really high-end diving watch. And then when I woke up and thought about it, I thought it was either a really, really big ghost flea or a tiny high-end diving watch, like a Breitling one, you know.
Well, I'd just like to say to Janos, Najan Kuznam, Vision Latashra. Sorry, a tiny Rolex, did you say?
Fashion-ist, huh?
Yes, it's good. Yep. You can play that backwards and see what I said.
Do Rolex make diving watches?
Yeah, Oyster Perpetuals or something, I think they are.
I thought they were just the flash ladies ones.
Plenty of times I've had a look at Rolex watches just to see exactly what I can't afford.
Mm-hmm. I also dreamt as well that I drove to work on the A34, but I was driving a hole punch.
Okay.
So for people who don't work in office or don't understand what a hole punch is,
look, one
it's
doesn't
a thing that you punch holes in paper
Strevs, one doesn't wish to appear churlish, but one does feel a chill coming on.
Ooh, okay.
Have you never noticed that hole punches actually don't have wheels?
Well, not really funny, John.
I counted them twice.
I'm not going to fit on one, am I?
Well, there's that as well.
I'm not going to fit on a hole punch, am I?
Yeah. So
anyway,
Strevs, what are you putting rubber gloves on?
I just found them. Aren't they fabulous? They're lilac, aren't they beautiful? They're like a powder lavender.
You got to twang them at the wrists.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, actually, some people have a thing about this. Like, the inflatorist things where the men, so they like ladies to put tights on, preferably fishnet tights, and then what they do is you have to blow up like a balloon, probably one of those balloons that you make balloon animals out of because they're quite thin. Then you pop them down the inside of the tights, and they get extraordinarily excited and satisfied by popping said balloons in tights.
Never heard of these kinks of which you speak.
I think they're called inflatorists.
Inflatorists? I don't know if you're making crap up or not. I really don't know.
I never knowingly tell a lie.
Gurren Anderson actually says it's got to be a chocolate Kim Jong-un because you get more chocolate. Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be a bonus one, wouldn't it?
The 11-year-old daughter, that would probably go along with it because it'd be a lot smaller. But she's a big girl for her age, actually.
Who? Oh, his daughter?
Yeah, she's only 11, but she looks really grown up.
Is she 11? She's probably about 18. And starved. No, actually, the Kim family won't be starved.
No, I don't think that they'd lie about their age, but no.
Well, they lied about her existing or not for donkey's years. That's always the way. The children just appear.
I'm just checking my book of section-worthy statements, and I've got a section here called "On the Road."
On the road.
On the road. So here I've listed do you remember when I came into work that time and I nearly crashed the car because I saw something at the side of the road and I was so freaked out by it? Remember the Muppet Show?
Oh, I remember the Muppet Show.
Do you remember the Swedish chef?
Hurdy. So
the Swedish chef, in effect, was just like Geoffrey Chaucer talking. It was just like
Geoffrey Chaucer, Canterbury Tales. Like Geoffrey Chaucer.
Stupid old English Geoffrey Chaucer.
How do you know what he sounded like?
It was just talked like a wank. You've only got to read the Canterbury Tales, and it's like it was good. Anyway, so in the Muppet Show, the Swedish chef was always trying to. He had a big meat cleaver, but he was always trying to kill the chicken, wasn't he? The chicken. Yeah. Okay, that was on the side of the A34. It was the chicken from the Muppet Show, and I nearly left the road. I was like, "Oh my holy God, that needs to be removed." And that was there for about 3 weeks as well, possibly associated with the Cyberman's Merkin, and also the road cushion that I saw as well.
What's a road cushion?
The road cushion was actually, well, I think it was a creature. So I saw that about 3 a.m. So imagine if you had like a really nice sort of like settee from, I don't know, DFS or whatever, and it had like a big grey cushion on it.
Yeah.
But then that walked across the road in front of you. That was the night I saw a lot of other stuff as well. So I was really tired.
Mr. Toffee's just asked, when was the last time you'd had a mental health assessment? And I said tomorrow. I think it might need to be sooner.
Oh, so my partner always jokes. He always says, whenever I fill out an application for a job, which is often because I get bored really easily, so I'm on my like 23rd job, and there's a section in the application form and it says, any history of family mental health issues. He always says, extra sheets, please.
That's just for you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think we even should consider your family. Although, please, do share that thing that you told me that you saw at the care home place that your dad was at that time. Do you remember? Honestly, people, this is true. I have seen photographs. Strevs, take it away.
How they pioneered electroconvulsive therapy and my great aunt. No. So my father, we won't have about this, but he's in a facility at the moment. And to make things easier there, they have activities and bits and pieces. So I was visiting one afternoon with my mum, who's absolutely fine, and my mum turned around and went, there's a Shetland pony outside your dad's room wearing a glittery cape and shoes. And I was like, shit, mum's gone as well. What? Oh, fuck. But there was actually a Shetland pony wearing a glittery cape with shoes on, of a donkey wearing a tasseled glittery coat, also in shoes, and a dog running around with like a little jacket on.
And now I must give Strevs
and
this.
They brought them up in the lift.
I must give Strevs this. I have seen the photographs of the little Shetland pony and the donkey. She is not lying. In this occasion, she is not sectionable. She does not require a mental health assessment. It's real.
But the week after that, they took lambs in nappies.
But can you imagine?
I missed that.
All the poor blighters in these old people's home will say to their relatives, oh, do you know what? I was visited by a Shetland pony in a cloak with purple tassely shoes. Well, and everyone's going to say, hey, up, he's had it.
It's all ages and certified. So it was a wicked thing to do, probably. No, they liked it, but it's just like, yeah, a little bit disconcerting to find it on the first floor of a facility like that. They'd come up in the lift. They did have thunderpants on though, so if they did
drop one,
do their whatever horses and ponies and things do, it would have been collected. It wouldn't have caused an issue on the on the
makes
floor.
hell of a mess if it gets trod in the carpet, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there's no carpets there for reasons.
Okay, I can understand.
Mostly because I like to skid on the floor. Yeah.
Oh man! Now, people, do you understand what I have to put up with at work? It's the whole time. Apart from when we're both working very hard, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So we discussed the names for cars while we're on road themed things?
Names for cars? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Are you not going to go on about your car and everything called Loretta or whatever it is? Lorcan?
No. So currently I drive Lorcan. And there's also a stuffed baboon in the windscreen called Lorcan as well. But so that's a one-off. But every Land Rover that I've owned has had the surname Chippy Fog. So I've had a Monty Chippy Fog, a Yolanda Chippy Fog, and I can't remember what the other one was. But my very first car when I learned to drive was called Dolores Bynes. So they've all got special names.
Yeah.
But any Land Rover has got to bear the surname Chippy Fog.
I must admit,
That's the law.
With regard to you, Strevs, the word special does fit. And M2M, sir, you're very kind. Super chatted again. Strevs, you are awesome. Don't ever change. I got to go and do the parent thing now. See ya. Listen, M2M, thank you so much for the super chats. Really appreciate it, my friend. You take care, Matt. You gone silent, Strevs. You press the button. And... oh, dear. Can't hear you.
Is it back now?
You're back now.
Yeah, I pressed the button. Sauce.
We had a practice for this a couple of days ago, and Strevs kept saying, I can hardly hear you. Eventually she worked out there's a plus and minus. When she pressed the plus, you could suddenly hear me again.
Funny that. Funny,
I laughed.
What have I got for you to show you this evening? So this evening...
I don't know.
So this evening... So I'm actually I might bring this into it. So this is a false pomegranate.
Okay.
So this is a hangover from when I worked in education, and I used to teach 7-year-olds about Roman mosaics.
What's that got to do with pomegranates?
This was the teaching tool I used. You try and control 67-year-olds. You got one of these in a sock, you're sold. You keep them guessing. It's all good. But I had to stop doing that job because I dressed up once and I mixed Romano-British, Anglo-Saxon and Viking, and they got really angry about that. They went, you can't do that. I was like, well, I just did, so off.
You're not happy about that?
No, I left. No. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so this is the teaching
pomegranate.
For that.
The pomegranate of doom.
The pomegranate of doom. It was actually because there was a pomegranate hidden in the mosaic. So I used to say to them, "Can you find a fruit?" And it used to keep them quiet for half an hour.
Okay.
And then one little darling came up once and said, "I've just found Cinderella's carriage over here in the mosaic." I said, "That's lovely." Another one said, "I've just found a swastika." I was like, "Oh Christ!" Yeah. So. Gotta love 7-year-olds, haven't you?
Well, my missus worked with young kids, and she was working with one in particular who had some struggles reading, and that she's quite young, and they'd been talking about sentence structure. So this little girl wrote everything, and my missus said at the end, "Look, what is it that you've forgotten? What is it you're supposed to put at the end of every sentence to stop the letters falling off?" And she thought about it and said, 7.
Bless her.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Actually, do you know what? I can't see anything wrong with that.
Well, perhaps we should finish every sentence with 7.
Just finish every sentence with 7. My mum worked at a nursery school for a little while, and she did story time at the end. It was the 3 little pigs.
Oh yeah.
And she's in the middle of the story, and she said, and he huffed and he puffed, and he blew the house down, and a tiny 2-year-old front went, "Fucking bastard." And my mum was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know what to do."
That is brilliant.
Speak to the parents now. I don't know what to do with that. That's and I think that was the same little girl that cut off another kid's ponytail and hid it in the dressing up box. So at the end of the day, the mother came to clip the child, and it just had no hair because they'd hanged it off.
Well,
where they got access to scissors from, I don't know.
Another kid with my wife. He was about 6-7 years old. Said, "Mrs. Sensible, would you rather that your legs bent backwards or run around the town naked?"
Oh, what did she opt for?
She said the legs bent backward, but she thought it was so funny. She told the mum, and the mum was beside herself with embarrassment. Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, would you? Yeah, that's the would you ever, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glancing at the next entry. It's the natural world.
Natural. We're covering all of it. So it's a bit like what's that game? Trivial Pursuit, isn't it? What colour cheese is this one? Is this a blue?
I'm just reading that comment there. Sorry.
So someone has painted a swastika on the doggy poo bin at the local dog walking park.
Okay, that's random. Oh right. So cast your mind back. Do you remember that bloke that used to do like football commentary? He was Eddie Waring, and he used to wear a pork pie hat, and he'd have like an old man coat on, and it was one of those old man coats with like the leather buttons on it.
Yeah.
So the leather buttons that were like stitched in like four bits.
Yeah.
Right. I was outside work once years ago, and I went back in because I've got to report something. I've just found a swastika carved into a Malteser, jammed into a crack in the pavement, and I don't think that's right. So they went out, and it was one of them buttons. It wasn't a Malteser with a swastika carved in it, but I honestly thought it was. So that
You've just gone quiet again.
There, better.
Well, actually, I'm not so sure. I'm wondering if it's better if you would go quiet.
Should put this somewhere. There we go.
Yeah, perhaps you should press it, and we don't have to. That's how it works, is it?
There we go. It's got some sort of thing. Speaking of sound, so someone's done some recordings. So it's called the phenomenon of singing ice. Have you heard it?
No.
You've not heard singing ice?
Not heard singing ice.
They've obviously gone out to the Antarctic. Obviously got some like really good fleeces and stuff on. Drilled a hole, popped a microphone down, and they've recorded it. And it's basically the contractions and shifts with temperature changes where the ice moves against each other, and it's called singing ice. They played it. It sounded like a ghost train. I'm sorry, I've heard
recordings from within a glacier where they've done that within the glacier.
Did it sound like a ghost train at the fair?
Sorry,
it sounded like a ghost train at the fair. In no way did it resemble singing. It was just like it's probably a fairground trapped in there. Someone's going around in a ghost train.
Sorry, was this the Arctic or the Antarctic, did you say?
Both of them.
Okay, so one at the top or one at the bottom?
Either or, you choose.
Okay.
I don't like... So if I had the choice of going, I would go to the one at the top.
Why's that?
Because you can see the Northern Lights there.
Yeah, but if you went to the South Pole, you'd see the Borealis Australis.
No, nobody talks about them, do they? No one talks about the Southern Lights.
No.
They just don't even get a look in. So that's probably because they're shit. All right.
The northern ones are much better.
Clearly, because they're the ones that everyone talks about.
Okay. Nothing to do with the fact that more people live in the northern hemisphere.
No. So nobody talks about the Southern Cross, do they? Everyone bangs on about like the Pole Star and the plough and stuff. No one gives a shit about the Southern Cross.
Well, certainly flat earthers don't.
No. So if I was going to go, I think there's probably more going on at the North Pole because A, Father Christmas lives there.
True.
B, there's actually like a stripy pole there, isn't there, to mark?
I think there is at the South Pole as well.
Oh, don't spoil it.
And any children listening, it's not true. There. Father Christmas was not killed in a nasty accident. He will be here this Christmas as well.
So, but then the South Pole is where the supplementary Stargate lives.
Oh gosh, don't you start it.
When it's not been moved to Nevada. So also, I think the South Pole is where they kind of like shoved Atlantis up it as well.
Well, all I know is you get penguins down there, and I think I'd prefer to meet a penguin than a polar bear.
Well, don't you get polar bears down there?
No.
Do you get seals down there?
I think so.
So you get seals and walruses down there.
Yes, I should think so.
You can't get polar bears down there.
No, polar bears are not going to be able to carry out that swim from the north to the south. So the fact that polar bears don't eat penguins is nothing to do with the fact that they can't get the wrappers off. It's just that they're at the other side of the
continent.
Earth. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, only one is a continent.
A consonant. A vowel. Consonant.
No, continent.
Continent. Intercontinental.
Antarctica is a continent. It is land with ice on, but the Arctic is just ice floating on the water.
Well, isn't it like joined up to a bit of the Bering Straits sometimes when it's chilly?
The ice, ice is.
So that makes it part of a continent then, doesn't it?
No, that's a bit of a stretch. That's a bit of a stretch.
And like when they made that oil pipeline, it was really sweet. They put it on stilts so that the reindeer could like migrate under the tundra underneath it, didn't they? So it didn't piss them off. So when they were migrating, they were like, "Oh, bugger! There's a massive pipe in the way." So they put it on stilts so they could do one underneath it.
It's a bit like carrot flies, is it?
carrot flies they're wankers.
They're dumb.
They're dumb. I mean, what?
Explain why.
Right. You're a carrot fly. You've got wings, okay? So you've evolved with wings, but you can't fly over 24 inches off the ground. So consequently, if you're planting carrot,
a gardener,
if you put a small net round it that's 25 inches high, the carrot fly can't come in and decimate your crop. So basically, it's a tosser.
They're pretty dumb, aren't they?
They don't deserve to.
And if you could fly 24 inches high, what's the extra effort going another inch higher?
Really, you've got
wings.
Sure,
it's no harder.
No. I mean, come on. Just put a little bit of extra effort in.
Or land on the fence at 24 inches high and walk over the other inch. Could do that.
Yeah. It's
like defeating Daleks by building everywhere with a step. That became well known, and suddenly they could fly, couldn't they?
They fly now, don't they?
Yeah.
That is no good. That is no good. No good. No good.
Do you remember what the Daleks what their original race was called?
Oh, so they come from Skaro.
Yes. And what race are they?
The actor that played Davros, they must have made him eat like a shitload of blackjacks because his tongue's black.
Stop distracting. Answer the question. Answer the question. What were Daleks before they became Daleks?
Okay, right. So they weren't utter bastards. They were like.
Well, they might have been, but they weren't creatures living inside the machines.
They were like slug things. They're slug things
what
now.
Were they?
Unless they're bloody fucking blowjob lips in the white one.
Talk about dodging the quick. You don't know, do you?
No. What's her name? Rose. No. When she was inside the white one, it was stupid. I didn't like it.
Yes, but what were Daleks before they became Daleks?
They were.
Oh, come on, Strevs.
They worked in confectionery.
They might have done, but they're originally Krellads.
Right, so what happened to them then?
Well, they ended up living inside those machines. I can't remember. Was there a war or something? Sorry?
There's got to be a reason, isn't there?
Maybe it's a war.
I just remember that episode when they had like this, like, I don't know, it was like chocolate ready break. They went, and they shoved it in its eye and it couldn't chase them. Do you remember that one?
No.
We're going back along. This is probably Tom Baker. We're going back.
Tom Baker was probably my favourite Doctor. Certainly
Actually,
was a good one.
Tom Baker's got a lot to answer for because a lot of my messed up stuff is based on
floppy hats and long coloured scarves.
One particular one called the Deadly Assassin, which still freaks me out.
Oh, the one that always got me was the one with the maggots in the tunnels. Do you remember that one? I had nightmares about that when I was a kid. I wouldn't walk upstairs.
Yeah.
Purple Snowdrop says they were cornflakes. I presume she's
talking.
Were. I presume Purple's talking about the things that were blocked onto their eyes and not before Daleks became Daleks. They used to be cornflakes. I presume that's not the case.
I'm sure those maggot things had cornflakes coming out of them as well.
Those maggots.
So there was when I was growing up in London as a kid, there was an urban myth, an urban legend that it was. I won't name them because they still do manufacture foodstuffs, but it was a very, very well-known manufacturer of, say, meat pastes, and that apparently the legend was that where they sluiced down wherever it was where they made the meat paste in the jars, it was in the and there was a maggot found in the like effluent thing that was like the size of a spaniel.
Spaniel.
Now, clearly,
what was that going to turn into?
A maggot the size of a spaniel, but everyone's like, "Oh no, don't eat that! No, don't eat those meat." No, they've got a maggot the size of a spaniel, like,
maggot
in their drains.
Okay. And you just believe all this crap.
I worked in a factory once that also will remain nameless, a warehouse where we used to have to go out of a broomstick handle to unblock the trash compactor, which sounds like something from Star Wars now.
Yeah.
And the rats that were out there were actually the size of spaniels. So we used to use a stick as protection as well as jamming the thing down. That was a delightful place to work. There were people there who had fingers missing.
They checked behind the sofa.
No, there's a ghost there as well. So when they were constructing it, a guy fell off the roof and he died. And I wouldn't go up the back bit because it was like, oh, 28 days
people
later.
Die in every place. I bet someone has died in the exact location you are. Perhaps not in your house, but before your house was built, someone at some point would have died in that spot of land.
Yeah.
But you don't have a problem with going there.
Sorry, there's a graveyard like 20 metres away from this window.
Is that where you sleep?
Yeah. Sometimes I go and have a cigarette. I go and sit on Benjamin Bisley Button. So there's a great there's table.
Someone's called that.
Yeah. So the tabletop tombs, like the flat ones. When it was lockdown, I used to go out there. I used to just go and get a breath of fresh air. I used to go and sit on Benjamin Bisley Button's tomb.
Okay. What does Benjamin Bisley Button have to say about it?
He's dead, isn't he?
So not a lot.
Elizabeth's in there with him. Elizabeth Button.
Perhaps they're getting it on, making little baby buttons.
Well, presumably they were husband. Oh Jesus Christ! Oh, there's a There's a phobia for buttons, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
People can't.
I thought it was made up. A lady I know has that phobia.
No, they can't.
And then I heard on the Radio 4 no less, they were talking about it. It's a real thing. She's scared of round things, which I'm not having a go at, but it just seems I can understand someone being scared of spiders or snakes or whatever, or heights.
So hang on,
of a shape. I don't understand it.
Is she frightened of like her own iris? Is she frightened of like a teacup?
No, just buttons.
Got those teacups that are square. You said round things.
Yeah, but buttons because they're round. I don't know if it means every round thing.
It's bollocks. Sorry.
You'd be very understanding, wouldn't you? Can you diagnose what's wrong with me? That's bollocks, isn't it?
That's absolute bollocks.
But yeah, she genuinely is. So we have hours of fun. We have hours of fun chucking buttons and round things at her.
Round. I remember as a kid, I spent hours and hours as an old Pete Freen biscuit tin.
You were a biscuit tin?
No. Oh, there's that song, isn't it? I was once a tree house, I lived in a cake. Anyway,
there never was a song like that, Strevs.
Yes, the llama song.
The llama song.
Llama cake.
Llama llama ding dong.
I was once a treehouse. I lived in a cake.
Okay, I believe you.
No, yeah, okay. So, round things. Ooh, she wouldn't like that. Oh, don't know. She gouged her own eyes out like Sam Neill in Event Horizon because they were round and like just stitched the fucking sockets up. That's a wrong film. So that's just so. When he turns around, then he says to Larry Fishburne, he goes, oh, it's all right. Where we're going, you won't need eyes to see.
She could cut her ears off then because she won't need anywhere to hang her glasses.
So wrong.
I've not heard of that.
That's not nice. It's not nice.
Where
you're going,
some information. Information from Peter G. It was 1,000-year war of attrition between the Krellads, yes, and the Thais, both humanoids. The change was because of mutation from ABC weapons, and it was accelerated by Davros, and they became Daleks.
What's an ABC weapon?
I don't know.
Is it like an ICBM?
ABC, as simple as 1, 2, 3. Anti. You do the next letter. Anti.
Botulism. Charlie's.
Yeah, we'll go for that because I suddenly started struggling on the C word.
What is it?
Okay, thanks for that, Peter. I knew there were Krellads. Strevs didn't. Strevs, you said you know everything. You don't.
I know a lot of things you don't know.
I know. Like what?
I know why you see single shoes on the carriageway.
God, in why?
Because apparently it's a thing. I would be really angry if my mates did this to me. So you've gone for a drunken night out.
Yeah.
You get in a taxi, and part of the shits and giggles of the journey home is one of your mates grabs one of your shoes and throws it out the window for a laugh.
It would never happen.
That's why there is.
No, it will never happen because I don't go out and get drunk because I don't drink.
No. All right, but those. Cheers. Those people that do, that's why you see it. Now, I can't account for the lady's knickers outside Sue Ryder. I can't account for the pants down by the dentist down the road in the pile of leaves, or the wig caught up in the hedge. So now we did have, it was like a child's pushchair with a crash helmet attached to it, and that was actually a celebrity in my town. It moved around various different points of the town, and people took pictures of it and put it on the local website, and it was a celebrity pushchair with a helmet attached.
Peter says ABC, atomic, biological and chemical weapons. I don't know where that acronym come from, Peter. I'm sure you're right. Here in the UK, talk about CBRN, chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear. But maybe back then in the 1960s or whenever it was, when they did Doctor Who, it was just ABC. In which case, I've learned something new.
What's an ICBM?
Intercontinental Ballistic Missile.
Thank you. I told you that the other day.
What do you mean you told me? I knew that. I asked my mate. Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, me. No. So you say these things, but yeah. No. I'm just checking the I just want to make sure as well that everyone is fully aware that hedgehogs swim for pleasure.
Do they sort of dress up in really nice swimming costumes?
No, because you said before they put armbands on, they pop them.
They would. They would. How do they learn to swim? Because their armbands would pop.
If you Google hedgehog swimming for pleasure, it's an absolute delight.
Do they do hedgehog synchronised swimming?
No, they don't. But baby hedgehogs are called urchins. Did you know that?
What is?
A baby hedgehog is called an urchin.
I'm not sure, but I do. That's sort of stuck in the back of my head somewhere. It might be.
Well, you got baby cats, kittens, baby hares, leverets, baby. Oh, right. If a baby frog is a tadpole, what's a baby toad? Is it like a toadlet or something?
I think they're probably tadpoles as well. That'd be interesting. Perhaps someone could let us know in the chat. Perhaps someone could let us know in the chat.
Can you tell me, John, the difference between frog spawn and toad spawn?
About 75p a kilogram.
No, frog spawn is in a ball. Toad spawn is laid in ribbons.
Wow.
There you go. And I've never seen toad spawn. I've only ever seen I brought some frog spawn back from Cornwall to London in a milk bottle in the boot of a Robin Reliant, I think, or my dad did in about 1972. Right. So, and they came back and they were very happy London frogs.
I remember when I was a kid.
Put them in the pond.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to do as a child, but now because of the protections, I totally understand.
You know they eat the weak ones, don't you?
Sorry.
So if you got tadpoles in the pond or whatever you've got them in, they'll turn on the little ones and they'll eat them.
There are a number of creatures that will do that if they run short of food. Yeah.
Oh yeah, weaken the weak ones off from the herd, and it's like, oh, I'm going to eat you.
A herd of tadpoles. Is that what it is? A herd. What is a collective of tadpoles?
A clump. I don't know.
That's another thing you don't know, then.
I know it's a parliament of owls.
Yes.
So if you've got a group of owls, and I know that if you've got a load of wrens, they all get in the same nest together because they're so tiny they can't manage their own heat. So they all get together and they go, oh, and they're all warm
sharing
together.
A body warmth. Okay, Strevs, here's a question for you then. What is a collection of flat earthers? What would you call a collection of flat earthers?
I can't use the C word. You told me I can't use the C word.
No, you can't use that. Another word for a collection of flat earthers.
Plates.
Plate? A plate of flat earthers?
Yeah, a plate of flat earthers.
Well, I guess it wouldn't be a bowl because it's the wrong shape.
No. I don't know. An ice wall? No, I'm not. Yeah,
we did ice wall last time, didn't we? We talked about that.
We did talk about the ice wall, which is still freaking me out. So, do you think the ice wall sings then?
I don't know. You'd have to ask a flat earther.
You'd have to ask a flat earther, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Although they wouldn't get close enough because of all the armed penguins guarding the ice wall.
Who arms the penguins? Who gets the munitions for them and the ammunition?
Probably the New World Order, George Soros, and probably what's his name? He did Live Aid. He's probably got something to do with it. What's his name?
What, Bob Geldof?
Yeah, he's probably in on it.
Can you tell me? I don't know. My friend was obsessed with them a little while ago. And by the way, Shana, I haven't forgotten your birthday. I will send you a present. It's just going to get to it. Obsessed.
She's lying, Shana. She said she wasn't going to. She told me.
Shana, I'm not. I've got it on the kitchen table. It's really pretty. Illuminati.
What about them?
What are they? I don't. They're not on my radar. I don't understand what they are.
They're behind everything. Everything.
Don't they do something where they're like, if they're on camera, they do like some flicky thing or something?
Well, because you keep doing that, your face is all blurry, so you can't get recognised.
But are they anything to do with the Vatican?
I think it's going back to those times. Yes.
Is it like Dan? Is it like the
it's
Da Vinci
in Dan Brown
Code?
and Da Vinci Code? Yeah.
Oh,
Illuminati.
is it?
That's or the second one, wasn't it? Da Vinci Code. There was the other one, wasn't there? I've forgotten. That was all the seventh brand, wasn't it? Said Illuminati. Something like that. But yeah, flat earthers, or many of them, think the Illuminati, the New World Order, Bill Gates with his COVID jab conspiracy, all this crap that they believe. They're unreal.
Yeah, he did start his business in his garage though, didn't he?
Yeah,
that's true. Oh, so the other thing that's troubling me is as well. So, like Albert Einstein worked in like a copyright office, didn't he? Before he
Something
like
like that,
decided
yeah.
he had like a massive fuck off brain, and he was really good at maths. So it's like I was thinking, what did like H.G. Wells do before? Did he have like a really boring pedestrian job before he wrote War of the Worlds?
I don't know.
I'll have to investigate
What's the connection
that.
though with
I don't
Albert Einstein?
know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just I think War of the Worlds, and I'm not sure where that one came in.
I love
I
War
don't
of the
know.
Worlds.
So do I.
Brilliant stuff.
Who doesn't love Richard Burton's voice?
No one would have believed in the last years.
And I know you don't like the Tom Cruise movie, but I still quite like that one.
No, that was silly. It was silly.
The thing is, at the end, so the whole of the world's decimated, and then they make it back to New York or wherever it is, or Boston, and her parents are there, and they're all like, mum's stood there in like twin set and pearls and stuff, like they've not been deprived or anything. So everyone else, the whole world just falling apart, and they're all like, oh, we're in Boston, and we're really.
Did you know that in that film, Tom Cruise did all of his own stupid? He didn't have a stunt stupid, he did it himself.
He did all of his own stupid. Now, so that's the other thing as well that worries me. So I noticed it in that film, and I also noticed it in Donnie Darko.
Never seen that.
You don't need to for this. What I'm going to say. So when you've got a jet engine, which now wants me to refer to Mr. Whittle, who invented the jet engine, but that's got nothing to do with this. Whenever I say jet engine, I have to say Whittle jet engine. Anyway, so you know the thing that goes around in the middle.
Yeah, the turbo fan, whatever.
Yeah, so you've got the fan bit, but you've got that the nose coney, coney bit, right? There's like a red stripe painted on it. So when it's spinning really fast, you can't see it, but when it's slow, it looks like a raspberry ripple.
Yeah.
Is that so you can tell whether it's going or not, so it doesn't suck you in and kill you?
Well, I think you're going to notice because it's
so,
bloody loud.
So why would you have that raspberry ripple thing on the cone? It must be a safety.
Perhaps it's a fashion statement.
No, and I don't know why it's there.
So without that, you wouldn't notice the great big loud roar hurting your ears, the fact that you're leaning towards it, and the fact there's a bloody grey aircraft moving slowly towards you.
And you can
hold on. There's a little red spiral thing. I must step aside.
Yeah. No. So it's not like the old-fashioned days when he used to say contact, and you had to not do that with the propeller and make sure you didn't get your hands chopped off because it would whiz round on its own.
You can lose your hands. You can't really lose your head.
Or you could sort of put your leg up in the air and do a Douglas Bader. And oh no, he lost. Now, did he lose both legs at once, or was it one at a time?
I don't know. Did he check behind the sofa? It's always behind the sofa. You wouldn't believe how many legs there are behind my sofa.
When he was a prisoner of war, they took his legs away so he couldn't try and escape.
I heard he had wooden legs and burnt to the ground. And he's just bumming around now.
Jesus, John. Oh, God. Yeah, no, so I don't know if he lost both legs at once, or if like one got amputated and then he lost the other one, which is a really, really rough deal.
If he lost them at the same time, you'd either have to have two surgeons or one very quick swipe. Otherwise, technically, he's not lost them at the same time. Did you know, Strevs?
He left them in the downed aircraft.
How many legs have you got, Strevs? How many legs?
Oh, are you referring to the ones that are in my ears?
No. How many legs have you got with feet? It's not a hard question.
Not the ones in my ears, then.
No. How many legs have you got? Look down and see how many legs you got. Two. So you've got the above average number of legs. Did you realise that?
Why?
Well, some people have no legs. Some people have one leg. Most people have two legs. But it means on average we've all got less than two legs. So you're above average. For legs.
Hang on. Work just paid for me to reset my maths O level, and that wasn't in the average thing. That wasn't how it worked out.
It's true. You need to ask your maths tutor.
No, it's not. That's not how you do it. Right, call Albert Einstein.
Here we go. Dr. Nimrod. He knows a thing or two about aircraft. The spiral is so that in a noisy place, with the use of earmuffs, it indicates that specific engine is running or freewheeling.
See, he knows.
Well done. He's a clever boy. He's very, and he's got a lovely looking cat.
Oh, what flavour cat is it?
Black. I can't remember. I think it's got some white bits, but it lives on his shoulder. I'm sure it's like a parrot. Just sits on his shoulder.
What? So does he also know why in Top Gun when? So, no, actually, I wanted to do that job. So when I was like 15, I saw it. I was like, oh, I want to join the Royal Navy and do that job. So you know where they're the guys that are on the deck, and when they're taking off, but they do this like thing where they sort of like bend over and they've got like one leg out, and they're like they do this thing where stuff takes off past them. Why is that stance? I wanted to do that job.
Perhaps they're tired and couldn't stand up anymore.
No, it's a special. It's like a special like yoga. It's not downward facing dog. It's like a
exercises.
It's a thing
they're
do.
Doing exercises.
No, they're not. They're not.
Have they got little mats?
Sorry, just going back to.
Do they wear those like sweatbands and the socks?
No, John, they've got ear defenders on and big goggles because.
Well, how do they hear the music they're dancing to?
Flight deck of like the Art Royal. Going back to aircraft.
Oh yeah.
For a moment. Also, when I lived in North Yorkshire, I used to go to a shop, and the man that served me in there was a little bit weird. I think he might have been a serial killer. He's dead now, anyway. And he got very, very angry and upset one day because I had some knowledge of World War II aircraft, and it seemed to really upset him.
What knowledge did you have? Was it secret knowledge you shared?
No, I was just talking about, I don't know, fairy swordfishes and flying fortresses and Wellingtons and whatever, Hurricane Spitfires, and he got all like, you're a woman, why do you know about World War II aircraft? But going back to that, Amelia Earhart, okay, is she still out there?
Still flying?
Have crabs eaten her in
Perhaps
Indonesia?
She's just delayed. Flight delays. It happens all the time.
No, I thought so. Everybody, so her navigator, Fred Noonan, everyone said he was an alcoholic. He was pissed. He took a crate of scotch on that flight. So if you've got a pissed navigator, of course you're going to down in the Pacific. Yeah, he wasn't at all. I don't know where that came from. So Fred Noonan has been bad-mouthed all these years. I mean, he probably did go off in like a suit and a tie, which probably wasn't the best thing to fly in, and probably like a hat, like a jaunty hat and cufflinks. But the thing that he was a pisshead, I don't know where that came from.
And did they put one of those little cushions at the back of the aircraft and have a little nodding dog or whatever at the front, like old people do?
I think I don't.
You got one of those. You're old people, aren't you, Strevs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
You are old people. Does that mean that you smell of lavender and piss?
Oh, that's awful, isn't it? You smell like bovril water.
Oh, man.
No. So I'm just having a look at my fabulous notes here. Oh, so I meant to say to you at the beginning of this. So if anyone watched last time and they've actually got the gumption to watch again this time, I'm actually higher up in the chair, because last time I think I attributed that as the fact that gravity was more pushing on me, so I was quite low.
You were a bit. I just assumed you were drunk.
No, I wasn't actually that time. Well, I was from the night before, but this time's fresh. I've got Blue. Can you see Blue Birdie?
I can. It's a Twitter bird, is it?
No, it's Blue Birdie. Blue Birdie's moved house with me 7 times, and he's still got the same batteries from when I stole him.
More theft. Where did you steal him from?
I can't say because
you'll get in trouble.
No, somebody else actually got barred from that establishment because they thought that he'd stolen it, and he went, "I've nicked this for you. You love it so much," and he produced it under his coat, and he couldn't drink there anymore. But
so not only did you steal it, you got someone else barred.
Yeah. It's all right though, because
all that stuff behind you, is that all stolen goods?
He earned loads of money from redesigning crisp bags by making them like 5 mil smaller than they should be.
Well,
so you didn't get as many. No, so you didn't get as many crisps in them. So like the customers were being stiffed, and like they cut a load of corners like financially. So he was absolutely minted. No, what else is stolen? No, I don't.
It's like the guy who, with regard, remember the Swan Vestas?
The lady with the boobies.
Yeah, with the big boobies. Swan Vesta boxes of matches that's only got the strike down one side, whereas most matchboxes have a strike down both sides, to save a fraction of a penny per box.
Why would you need them down both sides?
Well, it's just that, if there's more scratch, it will last longer, won't it?
No. I mean, I think you're going to get enough scratched off one side for just one box of matches.
Well, with ordinary matches,
unless it's one of those Cook's ones with the really long, the great big long You
Yeah.
shove them in a
But,
fire.
I mean, with the swan vestas, you can strike them off of anything, really.
Yeah, I don't. What if someone's
Yes.
apparently
off your chin.
In the spaghetti westerns?
Yeah, we strike
Oh,
it
I
off.
love a spaghetti western.
Oh gosh, I love the Man with No Name series. The first one is a bit funny, really, but
My
the good, the bad, and the ugly. Wow.
Okay, yeah, but for a few dollars more.
Yeah. But I prefer the good, the bad, and the ugly.
When Ineo's on his funny fags and he's going boo and all that like twinkly music and he's like oh.
Oh, the with the.
Actually, that actor was really hot. Sorry,
which one? Not Angel Eyes.
No, although he was strangely, he looked a bit like a lizard.
Lee Van Cleef.
Yeah, Lee Van Cleef. No, because he always wore his gun across his belly, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's how you could tell
and he's lost was it him or the guy who played Ugly had lost a part of his finger? I think it was the guy who played Ugly, wasn't it?
I think it was the guy that played Ugly.
Yeah.
But so for a few dollars more was where he's in a prison cell with the old man who's made the cabinet to cover up the safe. And they go and do the safe job. But there's a bit where they break him out of prison and afterwards he's like sort of like kicking back a bit and he's like going boo and he's got a bit of a funny fad going on. There's like this really weird twinkly music.
Yeah. And
then that's the one with the watches playing the music when they have the shootout.
Yes. Yeah. When the music ends. No, oh, is that the which was the one
my favourite.
Which was one where what's his name? Where's the door of the oven? As a body protector for a shooter.
That's Good, the Bad and the Ugly.
No, it isn't.
Fistful of Dollars?
It could be.
Yeah.
It's not Good, Bad and the Ugly because that was all about Arch Stanton. The grave of Arch Stanton. Do you remember?
Yes, yeah.
Next to the one that says unk, no, unknown.
Yes. Oh no, I know. They're all fabulous. Those films I absolutely adore.
The first of those three is nowhere near as good. But yeah, it's one of the earliest films I can remember watching at a cinema. You know, it was one of these Saturday morning.
My God, how old are you?
No, it wasn't originally at the cinema. It was on a re-show. You know, one of these Saturday morning things for kids.
I've got a fake spot. Look.
No, it's a real one.
No, it's not. I just glued it on.
Oh, I see. Maybe you should keep the spot and pop your head.
God, can you imagine what would come out?
Not a lot.
Some old fluff.
Fluff bunnies. We know what you think of fluff bunnies. Fistful of dollars says Drebin. It was Lee Van Cleef who was missing a digit. Yeah, because
oh, was it?
Yeah, so it was in the actual gunfight. The final
which
three-way
was he missing then?
Is one of his fingers on his gun hand.
Was that part of the story, or was that
no?
Van
he
Cleef
really
had
has.
a finger missing? So how did Lee
Unless
Van
they
Cleef
chopped it off just for the film. He got better.
No, it's not bloody Dave Allen. You know Dave Allen?
Yes, he had as well.
His dad said to him, "Can you hold that piece of wood?" Someone who was chopping wood, and he accidentally cut his finger off when he was a kid. That's the story that Dave Allen told. Do you remember at the end we used to say, "May your God go with you"?
Yes.
He sat there with a fag, didn't he? And a glass of scotch the whole way through, being a proper raconteur, and then at the end of it, "May your God go with you."
He was good. I quite enjoyed him.
He was fabulously Irish. I need to ask you, sorry, I've just thought about something. Yes. So, right, if you have got, we'll call it a rock for the time being in space, all right?
Right.
So it's called one thing when it's in space, and then when it enters Earth's atmosphere, it's got a different name, and then if it hits the fluffing ground, it's called something else again.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's an asteroid. And
No. It's a meteoroid, and then when it enters the Earth's atmosphere, it's a meteor.
And it's a meteorite.
And then if it goes splats in the ground, it's a meteorite. Why can't it just be one thing? Does it have to be three separate things?
Well, if it wants to identify as a meteorite, it should be allowed to.
Did you know that marquisite only comes from meteorites?
It's what?
You know, like marquisite jewellery. It's like a shiny.
I've got a bit of meteorite. I've got a bit of meteorite.
Out of it then.
It's and it comes with a code number of which meteorite it was, and I found a photo of it on the internet. It's something like 0.15 grams. It's rather small.
Is that off that bloke's drive up in Winchcombe from last year?
No.
You sure?
Sure.
I'm sure he flogged it.
No, I think mine was found in
left up
somewhere
a big
like
skid mark, didn't it?
Yeah. No, this was found. I think some sub-Saharan
Azerbaijan? Azerbaijan?
sub-Saharan African type country, that sort of way.
How did they find it in the sand?
Well, they were hunting for meteorites.
Well, no, so
it's a rock that shouldn't be there. They find a lot.
Funny, right?
You find a lot in the Arctic and the Antarctic because, of course, you've got dirty rocks suddenly sat on snow.
Yeah, but it's going to snow again within 5 minutes. It's going to cover it up. So you're telling me you can find a little rock in like a fucking shitload of sand or like a crap load of snow?
Yeah, but they don't look the same. The outsides are burnt and melted. And stuff like that.
How often do you see a penny on the pavement? Like once every couple of 6 months. So what are your chances of finding a meteorite in like the Gobi Desert or the Antarctic?
Well, not a lot.
And also, right. The thing is, right, you probably find more meteorites in the Arctic because if they're in the Arctic, they'd have to curl around and go underneath to get in the Antarctic, wouldn't they?
No.
No.
They wouldn't. There's no up and down in space.
Fucking is.
No, there isn't.
Fucking is in Star Trek.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there bloody is.
Ah, you're thinking like Khan.
I'm going to take the fake spots of inertial dampers. Sorry.
And there's eddies in the space-time continuum.
Do you know about the shoe tree?
The shoe tree?
Yeah, I tried to start my own one off, and my friend got stuck on top of a bus shelter, and we nearly had to get someone to come and get him down because I said to him, I want to start off my own shoe tree because we found it. Again, we're going back to the shoes in the road. We found a big man's shoe, and I said, please, 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 if you love me, you'll help me start off a shoe tree in our local town. And he got stuck on a bus shelter, and we off and left him, and he got down eventually.
Do you mean a shoe tree? A collection of single shoes?
No. So the shoe tree, right? So the original shoe tree is on the make up an A road out of Stokenchurch. The A.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I should know this. Okay, so the A road out of Stokenchurch between Stokenchurch and the transponster on the hill at Chinner. Okay.
Yeah.
Lugner. There's a tree on the side of the road. And it was for years. It was the shoe tree. Anyway, people tied so many shoes in it. It actually died. The poor bastard, and it fell over. All right. So it was a landmark. Everyone knew about the shoe tree, and also in the woods opposite across the road there was a pot and pan tree. So people tied saucepans and frying pans in. Anyway, so because of the loss of the shoe tree, there's now a new one. So people have picked another tree and they're tying more shoes in, which makes me smile.
So you're obviously concerned about the tree, but you're right to have no concern about the shoes, because shoes have souls.
They're old.
Shoes have souls, you know.
Jesus Christ!
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh dear. Dear.
I mean, if you've got all these single shoes at the side of the motorway, perhaps
they're pairs. Oh no. Okay.
Perhaps you should gradually collect them up and start a website, and other people could join, and so you can try and partner up shoes, like a Grinder or Tinder for shoes. Find their perfect match. I had footer.
I went for a long weekend somewhere on the coast, and I had a great big row.
How long was it?
It's quite a long weekend.
How long was the weekend?
I had an argument with the people I went with, and we were on the beach, and I decided to take myself off and go and calm down. And I walked and I found the frame from a wheeled shopping trolley. So it was just basically a small frame with wheels on. Okay. And I was so pissed off. So I carried on up this beach, which went for miles. And I picked up every stray shoe that I could from the tide line. And then about 3 hours later, I came back with like 50 shoes lashed to this trolley.
Perhaps Douglas Adams was right.
What?
Well, there was an archaeological theory about a shoe event horizon.
Perhaps it was.
No, because you get more and more shoe shops until eventually there's no one producing food or clean water and that, and civilization collapses, and you end up with an entire layer of shoes. The shoe event horizon.
You know that the sun is hydrogen, right?
And other bits and pieces as well.
Well, it's mainly lion's share is hydrogen, isn't it? Okay, right. So before that all gets used up, or when it gets used up, it's all going to like collapse in on itself and like go over, and it's all going to like all fuck up.
No,
but that's going to be a long time away.
Well, it'll be a long time away, but it's not going to do that. It's going to gradually swell.
Yeah, and then it will get too big, and it won't be able to support itself, and then it will fold in.
It will slowly then shrink. Yes.
Yes.
So Earth is probably within the outer reaches of what the star will become, the sun will become.
So what that sun is, it's going to go nova at some point in the future.
No, it's not big enough to go nova. Nova is for it to explode. It won't explode.
Right, what will it do then?
It will swell up, become a red giant, and then gradually shrink to a white dwarf.
That's what's going to happen to Daventry with all the shoe shops. There are so many shoe shops in Daventry. They're all going to like fold in, and they're going to go nova on themselves.
It's like with flat earthers. You get too many flat earthers, and they collapse inwards and form a dumbularity.
Yeah. That is what's going to happen. Honestly, yeah.
I used one of these AI things today, and you won't know.
Oh, did you ask it to write a poem about robins?
No, I asked it to
do it.
No, my missus was there, and I asked her to write a poem about her. It actually did really, really well.
What did it do?
Yeah, I didn't keep it, but we asked it to do another poem about our new granddaughter, and it was terrible.
Lily.
But there's a flat earther that you won't know of, Strevs, called Nathan Oakley, and I said, "What do you think of the flat earther on YouTube called Nathan Oakley?" And it said that he was controversial and obnoxious. Spot on. Well done, chap. Yeah, well done.
Done its background search, didn't it? Done its background, hadn't it?
Yeah.
Had a little search around for that one.
I asked it about me as well, and it knew.
What did it say?
It said that I produce witty and amusing videos debunking flat Earth and other conspiracy theories.
Fuck, what would it say?
Oh, it said on
me?
popular as well. Yeah. Yeah.
What would it, I
should have asked it about you, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I'm going to.
I'll tell you what. If I remember, because I could only get so many questions a day, I will ask it about you and your books. I have put the link in the chat a couple of times. I'm going to do it again since that's just come in. This is a link to Strevs' Amazon, where you can see some of her books. So yeah, we could ask an AI about you. Some of Strevens' books.
I don't know what it would say.
No, I don't. We'll have to find out, won't we?
Would it go off and read them? Because it'd be fucking bored. No, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Sorry.
These books have been plagiarised. Oh
yes.
Yes.
Oh. So I'm just looking at my opera singers next door. Can you hear them? That's one of my notes here. Okay, that's.
I thought you meant you could hear some now, and you're asking me if I could hear them.
Yes.
No, I can't hear your opera singers next door.
All right. Okay. That's no good.
No good at all. No good at all.
No.
I'm rather glad we're not going to work tomorrow, though, because I could do with an extra day to recover from tonight.
I know. What's Oh.
What? How much is left?
It's not a lot.
Not a lot. Oh, just cut out the middleman and take it. What the hell's that?
Actually, I shouldn't be touching that. I don't do crabs.
You've got crabs?
No, I'm not going to touch that anymore. It's no good. So, I don't always do very well with the written word. So,
you shouldn't tell people like that when we're trying to flog your books.
Oh Christ, no! I shouldn't say that, should I? Okay, no, we'll just no. We'll Yep. So, this isn't my own wine.
You've stolen that as well.
Oh no, the security in Waitrose is well tight. No, they get away with nothing.
They got razor wire, armed penguins, the bloody lot.
So I usually make about 4 to 6 gallons of my own wine every year. And the best results I've got, so I make a very nice banana wine. That makes a nice white. Yeah, that's beautiful. Banana and tangerine. But my best ever one has been prune wine.
But it goes through like a dose of salt, so doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a funny colour, so it's not quite a white, it's not quite a rosé, it's more of a buff.
Oh, buff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it really does taste of prunes. It's fabulous.
I only made wine twice. The first time.
Peapod?
No. I can't remember what it was. But it was with Kits. But the first one tasted absolutely gorgeous fruitiness.
The first one
and it
does.
and it had 0 alcohol level in it. So I tried again. That one had literally 0 taste and was pure alcohol, and you couldn't drink. You could use it to I don't know, melt tarmac.
Strip stuff down. Yeah, it's like rhubarb wine.
I called the job a bad one and gave up.
You know, you're not. It's illegal to put it in the freezer, don't you?
No.
So if you make wine and you put it in the freezer, obviously the H2O liquid component freezes, and you're left with the alcohol that people kind of tip off and do stuff with, which is why it's illegal.
God, no one's going to know.
Understandably.
I've never heard of that.
Have you not?
No. Well, I'm not a drinker.
No, we'll have to try and fix that, won't we?
No.
So in the rest of this evening's show and tell, we've got giving you the prehistoric finger.
Finger of what?
I don't know, but it's like someone going...
Finger of fudge is just enough.
And also, we've got here the Venus de Mino giving you the finger.
Did you see that thing that's happened in the States with some teacher or head mistress of some school? I think it was in Texas. Has lost her job because she did a history lesson about the Renaissance and showed Michelangelo's David, who is naked. And that's apparently they had a pet. No, I think the fig leaf was removed again. But one parent complained, saying it was pornography, and two parents complained that they hadn't been given warning letters 2 weeks in advance. Lost their job. Absolutely ridiculous.
I'm not being funny, but Michelangelo's David, it's not very big, is it?
It's not big. It's not clever.
It's but it's not really a lot to write home about, is it? You know,
but,
the scheme of
the
things,
thing is,
it's quite a small dick.
Okay, well, I bow to your superior intellect on that one. But the fact is, it's art, and it's an artistic statue depicting the human form. In no way, shape, or form is that pornography. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Pornography over my shoulder then?
No, no. I tell you what, in all seriousness, I can, to be honest, I can't see very, very well, but I can find a bust or whatever to be a tasteful art. It's not pornography, is it?
I'd like to say I'd modelled that on myself, but clearly not. Sorry. Actually, that's promised to someone at work, that one.
Is it? For what?
Yeah, so they said if I made one of those, he said if you made...
What, you made that?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm well impressed.
Do you want one?
Yes.
Would you like, what colour do you want?
What colour is that? Because I'm a bit colourblind. Is that a bronzy colour?
That's faux bronze. That's faux bronze.
Yeah,
but they come in any colour you want.
No, that's fantastic. Yeah. I'll wrap it up and give it to our missus and see what she says.
She's got a lovely arse. So turn around in a minute. Yeah, she's got a banging arse, I have to say.
What's it made of?
That's my secret.
Oh, okay.
So it's recycled stuff inside her.
Okay. Perhaps I don't want to know. What
it's fine. It's fine. No, it won't. I promise you, it won't leak out. Yeah, no, I like making those. It's basically it's a lot of plaster. So you know when you break your leg and you go to hospital and they plaster you up.
Yeah.
It's plaster bandage. That's what it's made from. So it's actually, like, leg plaster. But then I fanny about with it and then paint it.
Well, honestly, I think that looks incredible.
It keeps me quiet. John loves it because
you should do it at work and keep you quiet there as well.
Yeah, but they'd be plaster of Paris all over the desk.
Jens or Jens Gurka says, I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it.
Yeah. No, it's not Michelangelo's David, is it?
No, but isn't that
crazy?
What
about... the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
When he's like touching God, he's got a bit of going on there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is that no good either?
Because all these things were fig leafed up back a few hundred years ago, and the
Victorians.
I'm not even sure if it may have been before then. I'm not entirely sure, but it was early in the 20th century. It was all de-leafed.
No, funny. I bet it was the Victorians because I'm not being funny, but to the Victorians, like ankles were like tits, weren't they?
And they even had stockings for table legs.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's just stupid. If you're going to get excited about a piece of turned wood, you've got something wrong with you.
Your ankles are like tits. Yeah.
I never realised how much. Jens says that was some judge in the US ages ago. It's happened again. I saw it on a news website today. Jens, apologise if I get your name wrong. But yeah, it's happened again. Absolutely crazy.
That's insane.
Yep. I mean,
I'm just...
if a parent was to complain about that, I'd be telling them where to get off. So I don't know what's happened here. My heater.
Has something gone wrong? Have I pressed something again?
Yeah, and you screwed up my aircon heating.
Listen, you know, those gloves I had on earlier.
Oh yes.
They've made my hands glittery. They're all covered in glitter.
No, those are rings.
No, oh right, okay. So at the moment, I've gone down this road because I've found that if I've got these to fidget with, it stops me mentally fidgeting. So that's more I've got like about. So that's why I look like Henry VIII at the moment.
Can
with
I
like a million Tudor rings on.
Can I suggest an awful lot more rings?
To curtail the mental fidgeting.
Yes.
Yeah. No. It's no.
And worry beads, prayer beads.
No, I don't like worry beads. No.
Yeah, but.
No.
So it's like yen with the S. Jens. So I hope I got that right.
Oh, okay. Does anyone know how to pronounce? So it's like the Eastern European version of Ginny Greenteeth, which is probably only going to be familiar to people that live up north. So it's like a evil bastard monster thing from folklore, and it lives in water, and I think it's pronounced Vorogenoi. So if anyone knows
going on about that again.
Listen, the Vorogenoi, I'm obsessing about that.
I know, you spent a day talking about it at work.
I know, I don't know how to say it, but if you Google it, it's like it's a right bastard.
What, the pronunciation?
No, the thing itself, it's a right gear. It's almost as bad as like bloody Krampus shit in Austria.
Is it like a close relative of yours?
No, I do like swimming though. Oh,
are you a hedgehog?
No. I haven't told you. Right, so I've got this thing. Okay, so in an ideal world, I would like to be able to ride a horse to work. Right, so instead of cycle lanes,
where are you going to park it?
It'll be fine. I'd tie it up to like a thing anyway. So I'd love to be able to ride a horse to work. So there'd be like horse lanes, like cycle lanes. But the bestest one ever. So you know you've got cycle lanes at the side of the road.
Yes.
Okay. Get rid of those. Fuck the bikes off. So you dig a trench and you line it entirely with tiles. It's a swimming lane. You swim to fucking work.
What are you going to do when you reach a road that you have to cross? Have an aqueduct?
Well, there'll be like a
zebra swimming.
Oh, there might be like a tunnely bit so you could hold your breath and swim through the tunnel.
What if it's a 4-lane highway? You have to hold it for a long time.
I hadn't thought about that.
No, that's where it all falls down, doesn't it?
No, but it's like, well, what do you do on a cycle lane if you come to a junction?
Get knocked over when you try and cycle across the road.
Perhaps you do that in your swimmies then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Perhaps you get out or there might be like, so now when you go to the airport and you do that travelator thing and it goes do. So you could get out, but it would be heated because obviously if it's winter you'd have your swimmies on, so you'd be chilly. So it'd probably have a tunnel over it. I don't know. Anyway, so you get out and then you get back in again and you would carry on swimming to work or shopping. Or so if you were going shopping, rather than having like a bicycle basket or having like a bag over your shoulder or like a bag for life in your boot, you could have something that was blow up that you could push along with the shopping in it.
I don't know what you're talking about at all. Not at all. I'm sat here thinking, I don't know what the hell she's on about. Although you mentioned airports, and I should mention that I'm quite worried about the baggage retrieval system they've got at Heathrow. It gets me worried.
Heathrow was an Iron Age settlement. Obviously before...
No, because they never had aircraft in the Iron Age. They'd be too heavy.
Terminal 5 got put in. So last time I was there, I was so bored, was delayed. They've got this huge like archaeological thing in a case, and you can like press buttons and light shit up. And he goes, "Oh, this is where like a henge was, and that's like where Terminal 4 is now. That's where your cargo comes in, and you're gonna go to the toilet on someone's hut circle or something." Have you not seen it?
No. Which terminal is that in?
What flavour did you go to Italy from?
I don't know because I've never been to Italy.
What? I don't know.
Well, you're the one who's been there.
Was probably drunk.
274727 says, what is this stream about? Exactly. 274727. You got it. What the hell is this stream about?
Is that like a 24/7, but it's 27/4, 27/72, 7/72? What is going on with that one?
You're asking...
What is going on with that? Is it meant to be 24/7 and it's mixed up with a 727? Because I think I flew on one of those to Italy. Yeah. Oh, mate, I'll tell you what. Don't ever, ever, ever go to Frankfurt. It has got the longest taxi in Europe. So it's a 30-minute taxi for a 23-minute flight. It's like, what the actual...
You might as well have just taxied the whole way there and saved mucking about.
Oh, I could have been home by now, you bastards.
And you're still taxiing onto the runway.
Boring fucking airport as well. It hasn't even got one of those cages you can have a fag in, like Manchester, where they're all like, you caged in, like, yeah, all smoking. Oh, I can believe it. So, right, okay, so London girl, used to going from like Heathrow or whatever. You go through the tube onto the aircraft, yeah? When we lived up north, Manchester, I had to walk across the sodding tarmac. It's like, sorry, how medieval is this?
They didn't even have a bus that took you out to the aircraft?
No, I had to step on tarmac and go up the steps and steps. It's like, this is just like positively Neanderthal. It's like, what is going on?
I don't know. Is that what it's like up north?
Yeah, it is.
You're going to upset everyone in here, or everyone who watches this stream who's from up north.
No, because I live with them for ages and they love me.
Do they?
I love them too.
Why did they kick you out then?
They didn't kick me out.
Did they say, oi, clear off south, you punsy southern bastard?
They couldn't understand a fucking word I was saying was the problem.
No. That's a blessing, isn't it?
So, things up there are either mafting or nesh.
Now, have you just been... I mean, you've been swearing on my channel, which I can cope with. But what you just said there, is that going to lose me my channel?
No, mafting is if it's very, very warm. Nesh is if it's very, very chilly.
Okay. Couldn't you just say, it's very, very warm? Or, ooh, it's chilly?
Frankfurt Airport is directly above a train station. I don't care. This taxi is still fucking 30 minutes. Oh, actually, Frankfurt was... Okay, so... Hamburg was grey. Frankfurt was just weird.
Does that depend what day it's on? If it's grey?
Although no, that would be a Thursday, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Do you want me to qualify this?
Look, I'm going to nip off. Strevs, I'm going to nip off and shoot myself, but don't worry, I'll be quite humane.
Is that you curtailing this evening?
I could tell you with an axe in the back of the head next time I see you in person. Oh, where are we for time? Well, we're 9:45. Do you want to carry on till 10 and then we'll wrap up?
Do you want to talk about synesthesia?
Oh, well, you are Miss Synesthesia, aren't you?
So a lot of people out there will have it and probably not be aware and not embracing it. So it's something that really is a really useful psychological condition.
Right.
That affects, it's something like, I know, 1 to 3 people in 1,000. It's usually passed down through the female line, but not exclusively. There are a lot of men that have it as well. And it's basically where it's all about colour. So everything is colour based. But then to the extreme version, you will actually hear and taste and feel in colour as well. But I also hear and feel shapes. So you are... look, you'd have to get inside my head. So,
no, thanks. No. Don't threaten me.
So simplistically, my Monday is lemon yellow. So I know if I've got an appointment or I've got an early shift on Monday, it's assigned that in my head. But that carries on through every month, whatever, backwards and forwards throughout the year. Some people might be sitting in the railway station. They'll hear the train coming in. They will hear it as purple. Some people will eat a parsnip and taste it as purple.
It's an odd thing, isn't it?
So it's a mixed. So it's where your sensory stuff's all kind of. It's not harmful. It's not hurtful anyway. I find it really useful because I assign.
Unless you hear the beeps for crossing the road, and you see green and it's actually purple, and you end up getting killed.
You know where the person, and you can hold the knob underneath. You know about that, don't you?
Holding a knob underneath.
Right.
What filth! This is filth, Strevs. Absolute and complete and utter filth.
When you get to a pelican crossing and the man beeps, if you know the thing that says wait on it, with the button on it, if you put your hand up underneath it, there'll be a knob there that rotates.
Right.
So if you're blind, you hold the knob, you wait for, if you're blind and deaf, you wait for the knob to rotate, you know you're okay to cross the road. So next time you're at a traffic light and you press that button for the red man,
feel your knob.
Wait for the knob to rotate.
Okay.
It will be there, I promise you.
I've never heard of that.
Right, so why? Really?
Yeah, never heard of it.
In Germany, there's like some sort of like fucking klaxon thing goes off. It's like this thing spinning, and Germany's like really full on. They're big on their pedestrian crossings. But so I can't remember why the difference is between a pelican crossing and a zebra crossing. Why pelican is called pelican? Because pelican's the flashing man. So,
there's three, isn't there? There's pelican, zebra, and something else. I can't remember. There's 3 types, I think.
You know zebra crossings with the orange lights?
Yeah.
Do you know why they don't flash together in sequence?
Go on in, why?
So if you look at a zebra crossing, the lights will flash slightly out of sequence. So if it's foggy, you don't think it's like a repeat orange thing. It's like staggered.
Right.
So that's for
that
fog.
helps because
they're Belisha beacons, and if it's foggy, if you saw them going like that, you'd think, oh, it might be like a dust cart. But if they're going,
the thing is, Strevs, this is all very well, right? So according to your system, right? So if someone is sighted and can hear, they can see the colour of the lights, they can hear the klaxon thing. If they're blind, they can see or feel the turning knob. This is all great. And then they go and cross the road and all the traffic stopped, and what happens? They fall into your damn swimming lane and drown. You just killed these people.
I didn't think.
What sort of evil cow are you?
You know what? I've been thinking about the swimming lane for ages, and you've totally just like trashed it in an instant.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful idea because it'd be heated, it'd be warm water, it'd be like swimming to work or going shopping in a bath.
Yeah,
it would be healthy, it'd be fit.
But you can just imagine.
You put like moisturiser in it for your skin.
Yeah, but Strevs, it would spring a leak and you get all these commuters stuck in these dry dugout channels going like that, getting nowhere.
Well, you could ride a horse down it then, couldn't you?
Anyway, it would be clogged up with hedgehogs. Swimming for pleasure.
Swimming for pleasure. So if we could ride horses to work, they'd have to like put like one of those like things outside, like a Western bar. They'd like a
so you can just
thing.
sling the rein over it.
Throw the reins over it,
so the horse can never get away.
And they'd be like, yeah, and then you come out and go, we're riding home now. I've just tightened your girth up because I let it out because I've been at work for 10 hours. Here's a nose bag for you.
But this is the thing, isn't it? You get
halfway
home and your horse.
You
get halfway home, your horse runs out of oats. Where the hell are you going to fill up? I mean, I've seen they do unleaded, they do diesel, they do LPG. Now you can get electric. I've never seen oats at the garage.
You'd have to stop off at Sainsbury's or Hayford Hill. It'd be alright. You could fill up there. It'd be fine. Be absolutely
You really
fine.
are a strange person.
The swimming lane is almost as good as the see-through teeth idea.
See-through teeth?
Mm.
Why's that?
So if your
so
teeth...
you could look in the mirror and see where stuff's stuck between it, or so you can see what you've already eaten? Oh, right, okay.
Yes, if you have transparent teeth,
yeah.
You wouldn't need to use those plaque disclosure tablets. You could get the floss, you could get the TP things, you'd be perfect. They'd be perfectly clean all the time.
You'd look crap in photographs. Give us a big grin. Oh, all we can see is your tongue.
If everyone had transparent teeth, it wouldn't matter. Like if everyone was bald. Or if everyone had no eyes.
Well, who would want to be
because they were frightened of round things. Yeah. What?
If everyone was bald.
I'm nearly bald. Also, I spent a long time searching for shampoo today because obviously, clearly, if I buy a bottle of shampoo, it lasts me for about 6 months because my locks are that long. So,
yeah. Well, where do you think I stand in that?
Well, you're growing yours to perm, aren't you? That's what you told me.
Oh, Purple Snowdrop said you could put a grid over the swimming lane at junctions and crossings. But then if any commuters had to stop part way, they'd drown. Unless the water level's quite a bit lower, of course.
No, so you can have one of those like bits where the water goes over the side. Like, so when you go to the swimming pool and there's always like a bit of gum, there's always a plaster in there and someone's earring, like in that bit that where it goes over the side.
And a magazine with a Robert Morley interview. But I tell you what you could have, you could have tunnels under the road, Strevs, with little scuba tanks that were just enough to take you across, and they could top up.
Yeah, but not everyone might not be happy about holding their breath.
Not happy. They're not holding their breath. They've got a scuba tank.
Yeah, but then you've got all the issues about sharing. No. We just need open. So I think, like cyclists, the swimming lane would take the priority over the other traffic. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to think this one out.
I think you might do, yeah. So
I want a horse lane and a swimming lane
and a hedgehog lane. I suppose.
No, they'll swim. They'll swim for pleasure. They'll be in the swimming lane already. They'll be with us. They'll be trundling along, having a lovely time.
Yeah, but then you're swimming to work, and you'll brush against one, and you'll feel like a small prick. You'll feel a small prick, wouldn't you?
I feel quite a lot of small pricks at work anyway.
Look, you sexually assaulting people is none of my business.
I still feel bad about that snail.
She's a murderer. She stamped on it, didn't you, Strevs?
I didn't know. It's not my fault that the smoking area is not well lit, is it? I felt terrible about that. Oh, I did feel bad. Dear. So a hedgehog would have come along and eaten it, won't it?
But the snail, now he's lost his house, is selling a big issue as a slug. Oh, poor Purple Snowdrop can't swim, so it's going to be stuffed.
No, you can. Well, you have
a boat lane as well, a canoe lane.
Oh,
that's better.
Yeah, you'd have to limit.
You could, in fact, instead of swimming, have lots of little speedboats.
No.
Ever quick.
That is inflatable banana boat things. It'd be pulled along on a string.
Oh, Strevs, the swan-shaped pedalos.
Yes.
Everyone goes to work in those. That's it, sorted.
That is it.
Then you could actually upgrade, put wheels on them, and use them on the roads, and get rid of the swimming lanes.
Oh, no, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Pedalo swan lanes to get.
Or you get rid of all the cars and make everybody swim to work.
Or
you all
stay home and do something less boring instead. That sounds better to me.
Because if it rains when you're swimming, it don't matter if you're wet already, aren't you?
Well, that's true. But when you get to work,
because you can never get a taxi when it's raining, can you? You can never get a taxi when it's raining.
So would you have swimming taxis to save you doing the swimming?
Okay, so if you wanted to get a taxi, so if you wanted to not swim, you could get like a big black inflatable black cab, and the cab driver would be like swimming at the front, dragging it, and you'd sit in the back.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh dear me.
I think Strevs is now just approaching 9. So just approaching 10. 10, yes.
Clocks go forward tomorrow. Robbed of an hour's sleep.
Oh, is it Saturday night? Yes. Yes, Saturday. So tomorrow night they spring forward. Oh joy. That's always a laugh.
An hour. Yeah.
An hour's less sleep before work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's wonderful. So, Strevs, I'll leave the last couple of minutes up to you. If there's anything in particular you want to tell people.
I don't think. I don't think that we haven't covered the appropriate way to eat a cream egg.
No.
Have we?
And 27 used to have a scuba business, but it went under.
Perhaps that's because he weren't provided with any swimming lanes. It might have done his business some good if we had those, mightn't it?
It could be.
We might have done better. Oh, okay. So I will say to you though, these gloves blown up, put on your head.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a charity raft race, that's the thing to do.
What? Put one glove on so it looks like a chicken.
Okay. So Right, they're like the white CSI suits, the ones with the proper zip up, so it's just your face showing. Hey, you do a charity raft race, you put one of those on, and you blow one of these up and sellotape it onto your head.
And you're a chicken?
No, you're just in the charity raft race.
Well, what's the glove got to do with it?
Oh, it's part of it.
Okay.
It's it's all about charity and raising money, isn't it? With the glove on your head.
Apparently it is. Okay. Right.
I'll bring in some foil in to make some shoes with, shall I?
Oh, I shall look forward to that. Strevs. Right. If you want to say goodnight, and then I'll put you on hold, and I'll say goodnight to everyone. So.
That was like really like. I am sincere. Good night. Thank you very much for listening to me and my watch in my head. Thank you.
Tick 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 tick. I'm waiting for it to explode. Thanks very much, Trev. You
Good
take
night.
care. Good night. So, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. I hope you have enjoyed that. And what's happening with my screen? It's all. Oh, my computer's just suddenly going really, really slow. Hopefully that's okay. It's not doing everything. Ah, there we go. Really enjoyed that. Don't forget to check out Strevs' Amazon account. Have a look at her books. I haven't had a look through. I don't know what they're about. They may be just my cup of tea. I shall have to check them out as well. I have a video out tomorrow. Flat Earther designs a hat. Should be interesting. It's different. Really enjoyed it. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. I've got to get back to it. I really have. And I will do. Everybody, thanks for the super chats. Thanks to all my members and patrons. Take care. Good night and stay sensible.
Mr. Sensible, bring me some cheese only. The best is best if you